Today I fucked up by eating a salad left behind by a customer. Obligatory. This happened 4 years ago. I used to be a waitress at an Uzbek restaurant in the US. A lot of our clientele was Russian/Eastern European. I'm fluent in Russian, so I would usually service the tables that didn't speak much English. Well, one Saturday night, I'm working the dinner rush. This is usually 4 to 5 hours of constant, non-stop work. It was a small restaurant with limited staff, so on busy nights, I'd also bus the tables. About 3 hours into the shift, I get a table of about 10 young Russian thuggish intimidating men, gopniks, if you will. They sat down, I took their orders, poured their vodka shots, and moved on to my next table. Let it be known that they brought their own vodka, about 4 to 5 bottles. Anyways, I eventually bring out their food, pour more shots, and keep working. About 30 minutes later, I look across the restaurant and see that the squad has left. They didn't pay the bill, but the owner of the restaurant was Russian, so I assumed they knew the owner and had an ab. This was not entirely uncommon. I start bussing their table and notice they left a salad completely untouched. Now, anyone that has worked in the restaurant business before knows that on really busy nights where you're moving non-stop, you get hungry, and you gotta take any opportunity for food that you can get. This was my favorite salad. I was exhausted and starving, and still had about 2 hours left in my shift. So, before bussing the table, I swipe the salad, take it into the back, and quickly shovel it down my gullet before getting back out onto the floor. I'm about to go finish bussing the table when a different table calls me over, and so I go and help that table. A few minutes later, I start heading back towards the squad's table, when to my horror, I see that the squad had returned. Y'all, they went out for a smoke. Because of course they did. I feel all the blood drain from my face as my heart boops its pants. I'm panicking about what to do. I can't place an order with the kitchen for another salad just because. Will the squad notice? What will they say? How will I explain? I calmly walk over and pour another round of shots. I'm waiting for them to ask about the salad, trying to prepare some BS excuse in my head. But they don't ask, because thank God, they're hammered. They don't notice the missing salad. The evening goes on, the squad hangs around for a couple more hours, downing shots and taking smoke breaks. So far, so good. Now, time to bring the bill. The moment I've been dreading. They'll see the salad on the check, realize the salad at some point mysteriously disappeared, and start asking questions. No, they leave $500 cash for a $300 bill and stumble out of the restaurant. One of the men threw up outside the restaurant, and 2 more were starting a fight. The salad was the least of their concerns. As a precaution, I wait an extra 15 minutes before bussing their table. The coast is clear. I bust their table, and exhale for the first time in hours. All is well. Too long didn't read, working as a waitress at a Slavic restaurant in the US, get a table of Russian gangsters, they leave so I eat a salad they left behind. Turns out they were on a smoke break. Managed to divert their attention by pouring them shots. I definitely thought this story was going to a way grosser place than it did. Thank Jeebus for that. What kind of salad? It's a very simple salad, but something about the way they make it is just chef's kiss. It's sliced tomato, cucumber and radish, dressed with olive oil, and topped with feta cheese crumbles. I'm sort of interested by the fact that there are Uzbek restaurants in the US. There's one next to me. Oddly enough, all the Uzbek stores and restaurants serve people from former Eastern Bloc and Soviet countries rather than Uzbekistan. I'm originally from Bulgaria and speak Russian, and there are Bulgarian products at a store called Tashkent Market. What a ID, right? I was nervous the entire time! Exclamation mark. I was nervous thinking you were gonna say you caught a stomach bug or realized they sneezed in it. Today I fucked up by having a voice mod on while giving a presentation to my class. Ah well, so this just happened. Also apologies for format, mobile, and I never experienced enough humility to post before, but times change. Bit of backstory. So with lockdown happening in the UK, I've been at home doing online lessons. When the class was set a project to make a presentation about a book and speak to the class. On the day I was going to be presenting, I was in a Discord with my friends being dumb with a voice mod I recently installed important information, and I realized my lesson was next up, so I say I got a presentation, and left the call to go do it. Time for the FU, I was unaware that the voice mod was still on, and it was set to auto-tune mod. Essentially I was unintentionally about to do a speech sounding like a SoundCloud rapper. As I'm starting to do my presentation, I don't even reach my name before I hear a chuckle from somewhere in the call. I still don't know who it was, but my trusty intuition told me it was a student making fun of my stutter, which I do a little when I'm nervous. It was only when I was halfway through my teacher turned his mic and camera off, leaving me with no idea what's going on. But now I have reason to believe he didn't want to be seen on camera coughing up a kidney from laughing. Either way, I choose to continue until I see my Discord being blasted with a death from my classmate with the following messages. Atop, your voice is on LMFAO. Atop, bro, you got auto-tune on. You didn't turn your voice mod off, Lamau. It was at that point I realized what I had done. My heart sank and a quick check on the app gave me the conclusion I needed. The voice changer switch was on and I was indeed doing a graded presentation in auto-tune. Why I never thought to check before I'll never know, but I gave my apologies and continued the rest with nothing but the urge to run into a door out of a mixture of rage and humiliation. Why my teacher never told me until I brought it up midway, I'll never know. Screw you, sir, for letting me dig my own grave. Thanks for reading my tragedy that just happened. TL, Doctor, went to my English lesson to give a presentation, however my PowerPoint also had the speaker unaware of being in auto-tune giving half of it, dying of embarrassment. Edit, this post has gotten way more response than I ever had expected. Who would have thought my humiliation of insane auto-tuned proportions would get me my first ever awards, including a silver. Thanks to you both today. I fucked up Redditors for your kind words, how I may have made someone's day. Those comments truly opened my eyes and I appreciate them. Final update, I got an A. Somehow got much better than I ever thought, along with an email expressing how it was the most unique presentation he's ever heard, and how my suspicions were confirmed that he muted himself for the sole purpose of mentally breaking with laughter. I wanna say thank you guys so much for the support. It's honestly insane how my Reddit karma has tripled in one post as well as my first ever awards. I love you all. Folded hands, folded hands. If anything, it made your presentation distinctive and memorable. You'll look back on this and laugh one day soon, I hope. Hilarious, I would have cried laughing, especially knowing it was unintentional. Hope you get an A! Exclamation mark. I was close to crying and driving my head through a wall at the time. Let's see what teacher thought of my performance. Op, you should have doubled down, kept a steady cadence and said it was an artistic choice. Deny anything other than a spoken word performance was your plan all along. That plan was out of the window when I made the most confused face on my webcam for a solid 15 seconds, followed by multiple apologies as my auto-tune cut out. No return from that. Lol, should have kept going and ended it with ta-nkyu or T-Pain style. Not a bad idea, kinda wish I played it off now, but it was pretty obviously not what I intended. I think your teacher deadass thought you wanted to do it that way, so he let you carry on. Embarrassed smiley face, probably added some spice to his very boring day. Hope you can look back on this day and laugh at how great this really was. I'll be waiting for your future post as an adult giving presentations at your job strictly in auto-tune. Smiley face. I'm sure auto-tuning in a presentation about a Christmas carol wasn't what he expected, to put it lightly. Today I fucked up by locking myself out of my apartment and realized just how easy it would be to break in. So this happened last week. I was leaving for work one morning when I locked a doorknob of my apartment but leave the deadbolt unlocked. This comes into play later. As I get to my car, I realize that my car key and apartment key are inside. I call my landlord and tell him what happened and ask if he can come help me out. I know he works 5 minutes away, and I'm hoping that since he's also my dad, he will be over quickly so I'm not late for work. After waiting half an hour, I call him again and he informs me that he forgot about me. Thanks Dad. I don't blame him, he runs a HVAC business and has been extremely busy getting people's furnaces up and running after all the snow, but says he will be there soon. He gets there and instead of pulling out his key, he pulls out his wallet and grabs a credit card. He tells me the keys to all the apartments are out at his house, which is about 20 minutes away, and knew I was already running late. He quickly pops the door open with his credit card and I grab my keys. He said it was a good thing I didn't set the deadbolt because he couldn't open it without the key if I had. Seeing how easy it was for him to open it, I've proceeded to lock the deadbolt every time I leave. TL, Doctor locked myself out of my apartment and had to have landlord/dad open the door for me. He does so with a credit card, teaching me the importance of locking the deadbolt. Someone literally did this to my door the other day. BC, I jokingly locked them out and then they were like, wait, I bet I could get in. Took them less than a minute. Swear any sense of security I felt vanished so quickly. Smiley face. Looks like the door opens the wrong direction and the latch is facing the wrong was because of that. I take it your door opens into your apartment? An easy fix that would deter this would be adding solid trim work around the inside of the door frame to prevent cards from slipping in, but the deadbolt does a good enough job too. Yeah, the deadbolt seems to be working. I'll suggest adding the trim to my landlord/dad because that's a good idea. Even deadbolts can be picked with bump keys, best to use lions to defend your house. I was thinking Home Alone style booby traps. Yup, locks only keep honest people. Wait till you find out how easy it is to actually pick a lock. That's why I invest in other forms of home defense, I just don't use them when I'm not home. I always just lock the deadbolt for this reason. Better security, and I have to use my keys to lock it from the outside, so I can't forget my keys inside. I used to do that when I lived in a sketchier part of town, but got too comfortable when I moved to my current residence.